Abusua strange woman bi enedi nkomo ne nkomo no odi no odifa Afenyo marking so na ansema o kafa Afenyo marking so no Alexander was hen Afenyo marking so no ebi ni say o si Afenyo marking be board chair ema ECG na bo as energy minister na H0t bi akoso yenkoti nkomo odi ema ne kekansim bi ti say by election abusua this strange woman allegedly or Chema Afenyo markings. After 2 constituencies on there will be by election. Afenyo will go to jail because Osusu say Afenyo a board chair internal H0t be a coswa all bubbles on figures be any amount be it without delay no yebezumi into sa and come away no. Na yasabe to a compensation so let me show.
Biemo abraste bugum atija abombo abraste abombo da bombo ko si waso Afenyo markings ebusia me say senka eyen 2 MPP fo anka de besi Ghana no me say ke beda sore dako na Ghana bia ni ho ke beda sore dako na Ghana bia ni ho ko mbeton Ghana aton mu ni panyina. Hey, yes, what you say your energy problem. Hey, light in your so just and bebre. Electricity sending in free MPP for Ebusia, Messi o man boya brayo su mate. Na Afenyo market so na ECG one an hour ye board chair. Board chairman ewo ho. Ebusia mate say sika bi 180 million. Sikano ye twitwa ye hu. Public accounts committee for every sikana ye busa Afenyo sikana wo hena satam na po ana no wono so no so ye a minister energy a minister wono so ye busa na ana sam akwa no so mi refi di ba akora ka ho mahama bibi sam ko form ye nsei se ye ba prosecute wo mu ye be prosecute wo mu ne ye de wo matum se medical be ka kire mu se Afenyo market ye de no constituency wo ye be ye by election ho me be kan medical be kan be 1 month ni. Hey Afenyo na when another to no den no de ye no to no wo bia authorize o mu so mu nyusu sa 180 million o mu mi enseti mi ache se sika na di o ma che sika na di na mahama baya na light problem wo mu mo say kasan mahama baya wo di dum so aba sabbo ne so obodi ani. Hey yewrade MPP mo di ye wan kasa the same Afenyo na abusia maslok ofa kwaje 500 million sa she no to eno so omuso di ni dimba na odi America akotwea abusia na ka wa you can imagine sasanka NDC ama power she wudi akasa nkofo e omodi ye sani pagwe waso afredo ho minority leader Afenyo chesa boni onu nko a wodi ye nye we nko a o me si ensam ni jijiba me si bibi besi bibi besi aye Afenyo ye be prosecute. Hey MPP for omodi ye wa kasa busia hwesika nti se o tika NDC ama power safa de no kwaje o masoro ka o dua ECG so 180 million esika ni nyina wantwea how akumsi so de ya hye hey na ana no butiri mo de sa MPP for mo de wu erade e go for tiri mo de papa ande na mo yesa woody for party woody for ade yes ya bone for party we are bone for do adai
survive it. I know that hey, you don't blame anybody. And after all, she's not the only person I'll go through. And I'm shocked why MPP is still pursuing this particular matter. Do you know why? Because the whole show now, the whole show, sometimes you begin even to doubt the competence of the former Chief Justice. The whole process,
Doubt.
Yes, you doubt the company because, and this whole thing makes the whole thing quite a bit funny. For instance, if you go to the Constitution, it is clearly espoused in unambiguous terms, very clear. Your friend say the process na yade this assembly, Article 146 process, must be held in camera. That is an absolute position of the law. There is nothing anybody can do about it unless the constitution is amended. Then the Chief Justice goes to court and says, court, waive that particular thing and let me have mine on TV. Aren't you worried? Because for her to even conceive that notion, quite problematic. You see, Ghana, for issues...
Because the law is the law.
The law is the law.
And she knows the law.
And this provision in act is springing on us.
And the law must be applied always.
Exactly. It has a constitutional foundation. So you don't even raise that argument to say, Mama Media TV. So because judge now will be no, he doesn't have power to do that. That is why Justice Amadou Tanko in his ruling made it quite clear, say, you are asking us to do the impossible. Because we as a court, we don't have the power to vary a constitutional provision. Because it is absolute. Where there is some sort of a lack of clarity on a provision, that is where the judge is enjoined to put interpretation on the clause. But this one, your case must be held in camera. Do you need interpretation?
No.
You don't need any interpretation on it. So a whole Chief Justice to make argument to say, you know TVs, don't you anti-worry.
Article 146(8),
Exactly.
Yes, all proceedings under this article shall be held in camera.
Okay.
And the justice or chairman against whom the petition is made is entitled to be heard in his defense by himself or by a lawyer or anyone of his choice.
Good. So Adia Okan and act and CI. It's a constitutional provision. The foundation, is in the constitution. So why would the Chief Justice ask you need the TV? So then when you that particular young granting that relief, then she goes on TV and the content of the petition, she takes it on TV and read to people everything. Don't you think they were breachy? So now no make catch be say process na ye Chief Justice adino. Say even say a copy say odi bema. Ade na oye another grounds of incompetence, another person made me submit a petition for her removal.
Yeah.
Because you breach the constitution. Yeah. In the process of seeking this relief, you breach it. So at the end of the day, your competence, even you bring it to question. So because as a Chief Justice, we are grounded in law, we know. These are basic errors that you should not do. You understand? So for me, I think say politics na say seriousness be wom. Na say you operate with due diligence, your conscience. I'm not sure say anybody on the side of the MPP will be following this woman anymore. Because I said me by the partner was saying, and what is on TSC. Don't forget Chief Justice a member of Judges Association in this country. Yeah. But what's your monka baby? What is that? Why? Because the Mother Association is the Judges Association. What is our Makasada? So Ghana Bar Association, a mouthpiece, no more woman. On one casa, the Kuba time or the judges and Ankasa are quiet, observing the process, and nobody has raised anyway. Now, what's in China also be that? It's up to you.
Auntie Anka say, Anamoa, Omampeni, Etuno, Senka, and Fambremwa.
Yes.
Anka, Judges Association of Ghana.
Yes.
And Komaba Monte.
Obviously, somebody would have. Because on winning panel, say, Omutia or Nusupiabi. Yes, and our son, I know the day, Namakacha man for say, you can't emra. We are lawyer, you don't interpret laws. We are lawyer, you are just trained to have a refined understanding of the law. But it is not in your place to interpret a constitution. So sometimes you see people on TV and a crossway or church opinion what they so. A judge is the only person that is your friend is engendered with the power to put interpretation on the court. We are judge, we are lawyer, the can be our drink. That is why we election petitioner, Chachuchi Kata of all people to be solid and answer, make all the argument, we are not judging about Twagu. They are not because they say the law is at the bosom of the judge. The interpret as a lawyer, you are.
You don't have the discretion.
No. Yours is to you see. Have a refined understanding
of the law.
Judge, it make sense to the judge or to me, I do position to him. But you don't interpret laws. What I say, and you don't interpret laws. But you were trained to understand the law. And then they are not putting interpretation, which is the Judges Association. You think if something has gone contrary and come your man. What I say. So for me, this whole thing is politics. You understand? My man kasa crack or tenancy or mess it up because this short period, petition call a buyer or committee there has been a catalog of incompetence and what display for me, I think there are grounds for another removal. So this particular issue, there is no issue. Oh no. Bafuborn issue go and meet Parliament, go through the vetting. I don't know the Parliament Genutuma. Uncle Sono the Chief Justice, but Tokono dear, she's a goner, and on him that she can fight for baby because as long as she has not been able to prove exactly what occasion are wrong within the remit of the law, no dear. The other can be a emotional expression of whatever and or express it. And for me, Afenyo Market and Co, that is what they do. For them, politics is about being destructive, becoming a saboteur, stopping the process, and then and so forth. Or no one said this particular thing. The anti-Akroma, your friend say E-levy. Look at the kind of pressure some of us mounted on Parliament to say, don't go ahead and do it. Yeah, nobody on some way. Okujato and is it one other minister? Is it Haruna Idris or one other person took the issue to court? Or money bo mohosono. No one jatumo sanabayemra. The court sat aloof. You understand? By another, you want a court to your friends, the Parliament. Master of its own proceedings, our court, to be directed by a court to stop the proceeding. So speaker, yes, and I'm not sure she's going to heed to those nonsense. No. Bafuborn, the Chief Justice, because what we are looking at, say, your judicial system, no. A bit nice once again, because you know the kind of issues Ghanaians had about the institution called the judiciary. It became so dirty to the sense that trust, confidence, so we take it upon ourselves that there is the need for us to revive the competence and the credibility of the judiciary. And that is exactly what the president is seeking to do. And a lot of people have been brought on the fold because in the past year, who pushing some individuals into the place. People with known partisan ties were even pushed to become Supreme Court judges. Against the sensibility of the people. Because people are watching. Everybody in this country is politically sensitive. And the I contested on the ticket of NDC pen. Recently, I see in the past. It doesn't matter. But then people have become politically conscious. You force a Supreme Court judge. You may have all the knowledge in the world. You can say, I will be fair. But will people trust you?
No.
But in a governance architecture, what people don't get is not about just competence. It is about the trust and confidence we, the citizens, repose in the institution. Because at the end of the day, it is our trust and confidence that will make or that will guarantee your survival. It's not about police. If you go to any democratic state and you think police need soldier for and the bomb mine I'm bibi how kakra because a trust and confidence are nipa or more mine a repose and a massa and we must always do everything to ensure that we guarantee public trust and confidence. And that's exactly what is happening. So we need to save the judiciary by making sure that Emma Ghana for any trust and confidence. And then we're out and within element of a portray incompetence and so forth must be flushed out. Ghana for will be clear on their mind saying, I have an institution impartial, very neutral, very independent. I can rely on the judiciary. We live in a country where a man for professor obebu dua dance obeko court. Uno binya asema obefra ntwanya mabo dua na we inside obeko court because the court process and people don't trust it. In recent time we call social media. Look at the way the judiciary was being subjected to some sort of ridicule, public mortification. Unanimous this, ruling bad. They were predictable. People were even suggesting, say, "Ubetim the judiciary now could try bet and answer for them." This mockery, people might think it's just opinion. No, aggregation of it are reflecting the trust and confidence public have in the institution. Yes, so we are serious as a president. You take earnest measures to resolve it, just to build public confidence. Maamiya Mokomani. She's the same woman who took pen and paper and wrote a list of people, say, President, appoint these people as Supreme Court judges. Isn't it a mark of incompetence? Because as a Chief Justice, you know the process. A judge of the Superior Court of Judicature, you know the process. And now, as a Chief Justice, now paper trail among 14, you circumvent all the processes, the consultative processes now you're involved now. You circumvent everything. Take a list and send it to the president and say, oh, appoint a man for. You are advertising nothing but incompetence. You are telling people that you are not fit for purpose. You can occupy that particular role. And there are enough grounds for you to be removed. Because these are sensitive positions. Because these are people who are clothed with the power to take away your liberty, your freedom. And they are nipa dasani is very important to every human being was as so your liberty, your freedom. So once it is curtailed, everything has been taken away. So the person clothed with the power to take those things away from you, that person must exercise discretion. That is absolute, that is powerful, and that must appear neutral. You understand? So I think going forward, these are some of the things that we must be guided. There be a Roberto as Ghana Nibia will serve in whichever capacity, bear in mind. Say your allegiance is to the people of this country, your service is to the people, isn't to anybody who appointed you, the puppet, whoever who gave you power. Obana we are say to serve that particular person. Trust me. When in Beguasi. And that's exactly the unfortunate situation that the Chief Justice found herself in. It's quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like she said, the law is the law, and that is the law, and nothing can be done about it. She's a goner. She must accept her fate and go. After all, Chief Justice Nenya Busunya Kumya. And Yasa Kumya, and I can Nana Kumya near Ubiba no Biakona Rollins Crow Hifa. So, Pardon Croma Hifa. Oh, Chief Justice will not be the yes, Nipana would do almost one pelt. What is your problem? Just go. I keep telling people that never be comfortable at a place you are not needed. That's my basic principle. The people say they don't need you. So what is this fight for? You go and apply another trade. Say Chief Justice. You can go and be relevant in other fields as well. But Chief Justice in the Nema why and I think we and there is nothing that will bring her back.
I see. Until Afenyo marking more cornea and more wood in an encusiac.
Oh, I said Afenyo marking has been a beneficiary of tokenos. Your friend is saying some of the bad discretion exercise here for the first time on the parliament issue. Look at the lightning speed with which the Chief Justice set a date for that particular proceedings. The following day, so Okusiano or Demo Okusiano, anybody also not ya parliament with the whole thing. Okay. But Samreno, now there were a lot of critical issues pending. As a president, as a OD was one year LGBT was one of them, and several other cases. So I know that when you do that, you demonstrate bias and certain affinity to the person. And hold on. And conventionally, I'm told at that time, not Fridays, not Supreme Court. But surprisingly, out of the blue, she empaneled and they sat on that particular issue. It means you have a vested interest. Yeah, in the eyes of the people, because we were dealing with a Supreme Court at the time, in the eyes of the people, you were seen to be a neutral. So I know the day, if you are being seen as a neutral, then you validate the opinions and the perception people have about you. You understand? So as a sensible person, you don't do some of these things. But they were blinded by their greed. They were blinded by their unholy alliances and affinities.
As a sensible person, don't you think it's too harsh?
Oh, no. Because a sensible person is being the same as being a reasonable person, assessing all the facts on the ground.
I would have preferred that you use
no, it's the same thing. It's addiction depending on the choice you make. But the argument is that exercising discretion without thinking. You see, that is how it is. So I think the Amoyan is just politics. They just want to drag the process and create a certain impression, say something ill has happened. But the question is, what is the ill? Pontificate it and let's know. Because if you're able to prove a point, say, are they committing illegal?
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share, the file comment show. The budget burning committee for you. A 24-hour economy, Mahama, a home common. Say 24-hour economy, a game changer, and ever boy economy. No, Ebushia Mahama, Eddie, and she say a guacum, said a bear. Sa seats and send something in our 24-hour economy. No, a bit to me a bubble. Now, answer they be running 24-hour economy. They need strong system in terms of security, in terms of job provision, availability of jobs. In the 24-hour economy, Mahama Bon campaign, any major policy. Yes, any major policy now. What him say? Or the near me go akwa in any time soon. No, to media no, bebaso. Ocean. Internet ever Ghana for you and say, you found come up and yet, and share by any na by no airboard to my state.